Welcome to Flekar and Inspire, the channel where real stories flicker into light, revealing the deeper layers of politics, culture, and truth. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for stories that go beyond headlines and dive deep into moments that truly matter. Today's story is one that exploded across social media and cable news, the unexpected, unfiltered, and unforgettable moment when political commentator Karoline Leavitt stormed off the set of the Rachel Maddow Show in the middle of a heated on-air exchange. What happened wasn't just another political shouting match, it was a cultural moment, a clash of ideologies, and a statement about media dynamics in a deeply divided political landscape. Karoline Leavitt, a rising conservative figure with a growing national presence, had been invited to appear on MSNBC's The Rachel Maddow Show to discuss election integrity, media accountability, and the upcoming 2026 midterms. It was supposed to be a high-profile but civil debate, but from the moment she sat down, it was clear that tension was simmering just beneath the surface. Leavitt, known for her sharp rhetoric and unapologetic conservatism, came prepared. She had reviewed past Maddow segments, consulted with legal and media strategists, and anticipated the typical pushback. Maddow, an experienced journalist with a reputation for deep research and sharp questioning, was equally ready. The segment began with a cordial tone, but as Maddow pressed on issues involving Leavitt's statements about the 2020 election and her comments on voting laws, the tone shifted. Leavitt attempted to steer the conversation toward what she called the media's selective coverage and the failure to hold certain political figures accountable. Maddow interrupted, countering with facts and asking for clarification. After a few minutes, the interview turned into a verbal tug-of-war. The interruptions increased. The space for uninterrupted answers shrank. And that's when it happened. Midway through a point about alleged media bias and narrative control, Leavitt was interrupted again. She paused. Her eyes narrowed. Her expression changed from animated to composed, and cold. "If you're not going to let me speak, Rachel," she said slowly, clearly, and with unmistakable restraint, "then this isn't a conversation. This is a setup." The silence that followed was short, but heavy. Maddow, trying to maintain control, responded, "We're here to challenge ideas, Karoline. That's what journalism is." But Leavitt had already decided she wasn't going to finish the segment on those terms. She calmly removed her earpiece, stood up from her chair, and with a quiet but firm voice said, "I won't be part of a performance that pretends to be dialogue." And just like that, she walked off. The camera quickly cut to Maddow, who appeared momentarily stunned. She attempted to move on with the show, but the damage, or the impact, was already done. Within minutes, clips of the moment were circulating across X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Hashtags like #CarolineWalksOut, #MaddowClash, and #MSNBC drama trended within the hour. Supporters of Karoline Leavitt hailed the moment as a rare act of courage, a principled stand against what they saw as biased media practices. Critics accused her of grandstanding and walking away when challenged. But regardless of political allegiance, no one denied that something significant had taken place. In the hours that followed, the story grew. Conservative outlets played the clip on repeat, emphasizing the phrase, "This is a setup," as a critique of left-leaning media. Liberal commentators dissected her walking off as a strategic move to avoid hard questions. Think pieces began emerging. Was Karoline Leavitt making herself a martyr for media bias? Was Maddow too aggressive? Or was this just the inevitable clash when two strong voices meet without trust? What makes this moment important isn't just the viral nature of the clip or the storm of takes it generated. It's what it says about where political discourse stands today, and how media, more than ever, serves not just as an information source, but as a battlefield of narratives. When you watch the clip closely, it's not just about interruption versus expression. It's about who controls the frame, who decides the tone, who gets the last word, and more importantly, how one participant reclaims agency, not with volume, but with silence and exit. Let's explore this further. Karoline Leavitt, at just 30 years old, represents a younger generation of conservative commentators who are not just echoing traditional Republican ideas, but redefining the media game. She understands television, she understands narrative shaping, and she knows that sometimes walking off a set says more than any talking point ever could. By leaving mid-segment, she sent a message to her base, "I won't let their platform control my voice." It was defiance wrapped in composure, a refusal to play by rules she viewed as rigged. Rachel Maddow, on the other hand, has built her career on asking hard questions and refusing to let vague answers slide. She has faced criticism for being too tough on guests, but also praise for not backing down from challenging those in power. In this moment, she seemed both professional and flustered, perhaps caught off guard that the guest chose to disengage rather than continue sparring. The beauty, and the danger, of live television is that it leaves no room for spin in the moment. It is raw, it is immediate, and sometimes, it captures a truth that no headline can summarize. So what is the truth here? Is it that political media has become so polarized that conversation is nearly impossible? Is it that high-profile commentators like Leavitt are more interested in optics than substance? Or is it that we're witnessing a shift where walking away from the mainstream becomes more powerful than participating in it? This moment also shines a light on the evolving role of women in media debates. Both Leavitt and Maddow are powerful women with strong views. And yet, the narrative quickly became adversarial, almost as if the space wasn't big enough for two strong female voices to disagree constructively. That's not just a media issue, it's a cultural one. Female politicians, commentators, and journalists often face a double bind. Be too soft, and you're dismissed. Be too strong, and you're accused of being hostile. This segment put that bind on full display, and invited viewers to reflect on how we respond to confident women under pressure. Let's not ignore the theatrical element here. Television is visual, it's performance. A walk-off isn't just a personal choice, it's a media moment. One that will be replayed, memoed, dissected, and remembered. But underneath the drama lies something deeper, a question about how we communicate across political divides. Are we listening to each other? Are we making space for real answers? Or are we simply locking horns in a pre-scripted fight, waiting for the soundbite that will go viral? In the days after the walk-off, both sides issued statements. Leavitt posted on social media, thanking her supporters and saying, "I refuse to be a prop for a narrative that silences dissent." Maddow, on her show the next night, addressed the incident calmly, saying, "Our job is to ask questions. Sometimes, that makes people uncomfortable. But we remain committed to the truth." Neither side apologized. And maybe that's fitting, because this wasn't a moment of regret. It was a moment of declaration. Two voices, two worldviews, and one stage that couldn't hold both. For viewers, the moment is a reminder: pay attention to not just what is said, but how, when, and why it's said. Pay attention to who gets to speak, who walks away, and what message that sends. Here at Flekar and Inspire, we believe in taking these viral moments and looking deeper. Because the truth doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it flickers, quiet, powerful, and waiting for someone to notice. If you found this story compelling, thought-provoking, or just refreshingly honest, don't forget to subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments. Was Karoline Leavitt right to walk off? Did Maddow cross a line? Or was this just the messy beauty of free speech in a divided age? Thanks for watching. And remember, stay curious, stay sharp, and always, always look beyond the surface.